Why is FTP insecure? FTP, or File Transfer Protocol, is an insecure protocol in the sense that it sends your credentials in plain text to the server. Not only the credentials, but all the files that exchange with the server, whether uploading or downloading, are transferred in plain text without any encryption. Attackers have access to everything that they need: the destination server IP, your username, and your password. Who can see my data? Anyone on the same network as you can see your data. Therefore, you should never initiate an FTP connection from public Wi-Fi networks like coffee shops, cyber cafes, public computers, libraries, etc. Also, all the upstream routers or hops from where your packets go, they can see your data too. How does secure FTP solve the problem? Secure FTP, or SFTP, solves this problem by using the underlying SSH tunnel to transfer files. This ensures that all the traffic credentials, server commands, and files are encrypted before sending. Since an intercepting computer hasn't got the encryption key, it can know nothing about the data transferred. You need a backup system that can capture everything: systems, applications, configuration settings, services, data, etc., so you don't risk losing irreplaceable data, custom configurations, applications, or your operating system. This needs to be done on-site and off-site. You need to run backups as often as possible, even while people work, because they won't even notice with modern systems, and you'll never risk losing more than just a few minutes of data. You need to test your backup images regularly, at least once a week, to be sure that the backups will work in the event of a disaster. You need a system that can recover a file, a folder, or restore the entire system fast to the same or different hardware and avoid downtime and its costs. You need a solution that can support migrating to a new machine without losing uptime, and do so regardless of your hardware choice. We live in a world where information equals power. With the influx of online file sharing solutions, distributing information has become easier than ever. As a result, it's now easier for information to fall into the wrong hands, intentionally or unintentionally. There are 7 risks of DROPBOX to your corporate data. Business owners are not privy to when an instance of DROPBOX is installed, and are unable to control which employee devices can or cannot sync with a corporate PC. Use of DROPBOX can open the door to company data being synced across personal devices. These personal devices, which accompany employees on public transit, at coffee shops, and with friends, exponentially increase the chance of data being stolen or shared with the wrong parties. DROPBOX can improperly back up, or not back up at all, files that were modified on an employee device. If an endpoint is compromised or lost, this lack of visibility can result in the inability to restore the most current version of a file. While many businesses trust their cloud solution providers to make sure that stored data maintains its integrity year after year, most consumer file sync services do not implement data integrity assurance systems to guarantee end-to-end data integrity of the data, guarding against silent data corruption that has been shown to be common in large-scale. DROPBOX gives carte blanche power to employees over the ability to permanently delete and share files. This can result in the permanent loss of critical business documents, as well as the sharing of confidential information that can break privacy agreements in place with clients and third parties. DROPBOX has loose or non-existent file retention and file access controls. Businesses that use DROPBOX are risking a compliance violation. Without detailed reporting and alerts over system-level activity, DROPBOX can result in a loss of accountability over changes to user accounts, organizations, passwords, and other entities. If a malicious admin gains access to the system, hundreds of hours of configuration time can be undone if no alerting system is in place to notify other admins of these changes. DROPBOX does not track which users and machines touched a file and at what times. This can be a big problem if you're trying to determine the events leading up to a file creation, modification, or deletion. Many companies have formal policies or discourage employees from using their own accounts. But while blacklisting Dropbox may curtail the security risks in the short term, employees will ultimately find ways to get around company firewalls. The best way for businesses to handle this is to deploy a company-approved application that will allow IT to control the data, yet grants employees the access and functionality they feel they need to be productive. You need to prevent hackers from getting into your network. You need to prevent hackers from infiltrating data out of your network and from your remote users. You need to prevent hackers from stealing corporate data from your mobile devices and browsers. You need to prevent hackers from stealing corporate and consumer data from your mobile applications. To protect remote access and online transactions, Petronella uses 2 channels to send login credentials and data instead of 1. This is called two-factor authentication. Petronella prevents hackers from stealing your keystrokes by encrypting your keystrokes instantly when typed. Petronella protects mobile device browsers by using encrypted mobile browsers, password vaults, and two-factor authentication. Petronella enables application developers to embed keystroke encryption into mobile applications.